Hello everyone and welcome here to XM Live to the beginners room where we are streaming over 8 hours every single day. By the way, if you are watching us from YouTube or from Telegram or from some other social networks, you have to understand at the website of XM, you have 3 different channels. You have XM Live, where you get the introduction of all kind of also tools that XM is offering, but also of basic terms of trading. You have the beginner room, which is very good for beginners. This is where you are now. And you have even the advanced room where you normally have 2 traders trading together and discussing the market. So feel free to watch us also live from XM Live if you're on social network. But this is a live session, so you can ask questions if you have about trading, about everything trading related. What can you expect from this single session here? We are doing live trading. So I have on Monday, what I'm doing, my week looks like this in the beginner room. On Monday, I talk about the weekly outlook. The weekly outlook is extremely important because my trading strategy is built on different level of analysis. One of the analyses is the COT report, which is published every Friday evening. So I analyze the market over the weekend and I come out with a plan how to trade. And then I have a cheat sheet that looks more or less like this. And with this cheat sheet, I know exactly what I have to trade during the week. So I had, for example, stock market short, and I succeeded to go short yesterday, and I'm still in, and I'm obviously have great profits. But it is because I was planning my trades, I was seeing what's going on, and now I just have to wait for the right entry during the week. So this is what I'm doing Monday. Tuesday, I do fundamental analysis because it's part also of my trading strategy. I'm not only doing technical analysis, but also fundamental analysis. On Wednesday, I've traded live with Anna Maria. And on Thursday, this is what we are doing now. We do live trading, the practical implementation of what we did the whole week. So what do I do here exactly? I trade based on my trading plan. So I have a trading strategy and I trade based on my trading strategy here live. But there is some limitations for me. You the viewer is telling me what I have to trade. So if you tell me, please trade euro dollar, I will trade euro dollar. If you tell me, please trade gold, I will trade gold. And I do everything very transparent. So I show how I calculate the risk, why I go long, why I go short. Where do I enter? Where do I exit? And I show you also every week if we made profits or losses. By the way, in the previous week, we made a loss. After 3 weeks that we made profits, in the last week, we made a loss. I show you that. Let's go here to custom period. We go 1 week back. We are at the 3rd of August. So we have to go back to July 27, click OK. And you see, we have actually quite a big loss here. And I must say, I did a little bit of mistake. I had a couple of, I risk between 0.5 and 2%. And 2% is the highest amount that I'm risking. And my mistake here was that I traded a couple of yen currency pairs at 2% risk. So I was, you can see this US dollar yen here, $175 loss, euro yen, also $200 loss. And this created the biggest loss, I think, from this year. So the previous week was the biggest loss of the year. And what can I tell you? Shit that happens sometimes, but it's not out of control. You understand? That's what is important. Even though that I didn't have a good week, by the way, it's not that bad because I still have also open positions. So if I close them, the loss is much more, it's smaller, right? But it's the biggest loss this year. Now, I hope, of course, that this week we will do better again, and we will make profits. So let's see how we are doing. Now, I will show you two things. Let me just bring in here a presentation, how my trading strategy looks like. So this is my trading strategy. So the trading strategy has 4 pillars. It's first a trade identification. I will exactly show you in detail what that means. So how do I get a long signal? How do I get a short signal? When do I enter? This is in the trade identification defined. Then I have the risk management, which we will do also in this session. So I will exactly show you how do I evaluate the risk, where do I put the stop loss, what is the position size that I'm opening, and so on. After that, we have the trade management. That's after I open a trade, how do I move the stop loss? Do I take partial profits? Do I pyramid? All kind of things with open trades. And then there is the 4th pillar, which is the trade order management, because there is often more than just one trade open. And I try to manage those open positions and ask myself, what happens if everything goes against me? And by the way, in the trade order management, this is where I made a mistake in the last week. And I was too strongly weighted on the yen, which, by the way, the direction was right, but the volatility kicked me out. So it's a real pity, but this is what happened. And again, if I would do a smarter trade order management, the loss would be just half of this size. Okay, so this is my trading strategy. And by the way, this is the trading strategy itself. Of course, the trading strategy have to be overseen by me. So I have to do some kind also of personal trading control. I have to check if I'm in the right mood to trade, if I'm focused, slept enough and all this, because trading is kind of a sport and you have to be fit in order to trade. And there needs to be also some kind of statistical trading control and even an optimization process of the trading strategy. Now, this sounds very theoretical, everything here, but I show you in practical. So the trade identification, the big picture is the fundamental picture. Then we have the COT report, which is a report that is published once every week. I told you already on Friday. And over the weekend, I'm analyzing it, but this gives me the main signal. So based on the fundamental picture and based on the COT report, let me bring in here a pen tool. Based on the fundamental picture and based on the COT report, I get a long or a short signal. So what you see here is I'm not going long or short because of the chart. I go long or short because of the COT report and the fundamental picture. And only after I have that, I look for an entry through technical analysis. So those two, this gives me my entry. And by the way, also exit. Okay, so I look at technical levels for entry, exit, risk reward ratio, and so on. This is my trading strategy. So, and this is called, by the way, top to bottom approach. So I look from the big picture and I narrow it down to the small picture. And the filter here at the bottom is just, when there is big news coming or when I feel like the market is not good for trading, for example, on Christmas, then I'm staying out. So it's a filter function when not to trade. Most of the trades that I'm doing are trend trades. So I try to enter nicely into a trend and try to hold to the trend as long as possible. In this case, when I trade the trend, there is only a stop loss, but there is no take profit. Sometimes, and this is what I'm doing mostly with this trading account, I trade momentum. Momentum, I just take a piece out of the trend and I have a stop loss and I have a take profit. And sometimes I'm trading breakout, even though I must say breakouts I use more today in order to trade trends. So it's more for the entry into a trend market. I will show you after that an example. My rules, I don't go now into the rules because I want to start to trade. But I'm a trend follower, so I'm not going against the trend. I trade in the hourly, 4-hourly, and daily charts. I'm not a day trader. I'm a swing trader. And I define before I open the trade if it will be a trend trade or if it will be a momentum trade. The risk management is also very important. And again, I will implement this in my trading strategy here today. I will risk between 0.5% and 2%. My open positions never should go below 5% of my balance. And by the way, this happened this week. But again, the problem was that I'm trading this only once every week. If I would have monitored it during the week, it wouldn't happen. So this trading account is a little bit special because I'm trading it only on Thursday. Now, the amazing thing here is to see that even though I trade this only 1 hour per week or 2 hours per week, every Thursday and no other day, I'm still not losing money. Like this week I lost, but overall I'm not losing money. And I think this is an important takeaway. You don't have to be a day trader. You don't have to trade every day in order to make money or at least to stay break even. The important things, and this is what we are implementing here, is risk management. When do I risk 0.5%? When do I risk 2%? In general, I risk 1% per trade. If I have breakouts on a daily chart, I risk 2%. Also, when I start to pyramid, I risk 2%. And after the drawdown, I will lower the general risk and I will risk rather 0.5% than 1%. And even when I'm pyramiding, I will risk only 1% and not 2% until safety is regained. Okay. Gerhard is here. Good morning, Gerhard. Fantastic to see you. And what do you see about British pound US dollar? Look, in general, so now we go really, I go out of this presentation and now we start to trade. So Gerhard, I understand that you want me to trade British pound US dollar and I'm ready to trade this. Look, in general, let's look at the COT report. So here we have the COT report. Let's go to British pound US dollar. By the way, I don't, if I'm not mistaken, not a very clear picture here. Look, this is the British pound US dollar. So we see open interest is decreasing a lot. So there is a lot of taking profits going on here. We see the dealers are decreasing on both sides, which is not a good thing. So there is a lot going on. You can see also here, asset managers are reducing their positions. Leveraged money is reducing their positions. Other reportables are reducing their positions. And the only one who are entering in this product is the non-reportable. Non-reportable are the small speculators, those small traders that are normally on the wrong side, that normally are losing. So when I read this, I would say I'm rather on the sideline. But if I have to trade, I can actually trade in both directions because the chart in the daily chart is still an uptrend. But in lower time frames, we see trend reversals already. So in lower time frames, so in the day, look, I said I'm a trend follower and I never trade against the trend. So when I look at the daily chart, it's still an uptrend, right? It's still going up. I have here higher lows. You can see them here very clearly. And even this is still a higher low. And I have also higher highs. And this is a clear uptrend. So in the daily chart, I'm not allowed to short. But when I go into the 4-hour chart, I already start to see a trend reversal. So here I can trade short. And because the COT report is showing me kind of a reversal, I can also trade in both directions. So I have the luxury in British pound, US dollar trade in both directions. Now, in order to understand if I'm bullish or bearish on British pound, we have to look at the market.